I want to start a business, but I have no ideas. If you have said this, then this video is for you. Steve Jobs was asked the same question back in 1995, and his answer was go get a job as a busboy or something until you find something that you're passionate about.
Oh, I get asked this a lot, and I have a pretty standard answer, which is a lot of people come to me and they say, well, I want to be an entrepreneur. And I go, oh, that's great. What's your idea? And they go, well, I don't have one yet. And I say, well, I think you should go get a job as a busboy or something until you find something you're really passionate about.
Well, times have changed since 1995, and now we have high-speed internet in everyone's hands. Here is the answer you're looking for in the internet age. If you don't have a business idea just yet, focus on building an audience and learning business skills like copywriting, familiarize yourself with tax and mercantile laws, learn technical skills like coding and building websites, so that when you do have a business idea and you want to execute it, you are able to execute it smoothly. Building an audience. Now, when you find something to sell, having an audience will give you someone to sell your products to. If you want to sell anything, products, services, you can't just go stand in the street and then scream about your product to people. You need leads, and your audience is your source of leads. No matter what you're selling, you need to reach people who might be potential customers. And if you already have some kind of established audience, your job is 100 times easier. Start a blog, get on Twitter, get on Instagram, YouTube, Quora, or whatever platform suits you, and try to build an audience base. It'll help you out whenever you come out with some sort of product or service to sell in the future. Copywriting. Most people don't know what copywriting is. Copywriting is the art of writing advertisements and sales pages. A good sales page will convert far more people than a bad sales page will. And knowing how to write a good sales page is one of the most valuable business skills you can have. Everything in life is sales. You can have the best product on the market, but if you can't sell it well, you won't make money. And to give you an example, I have one of my products that is not an LMM, and I 5x my sales simply by changing the sales page and making it more persuasive. I didn't change the product in any way. All I did was change the words on the sales page. And that page went from converting hardly a few customers to converting lots of people into customers. So the business from that product is worth 5 times as much simply because of a new sales page. Copywriting is one of the most valuable skills you can have, and if you have never sold anything online, take my word, you suck at copywriting. People tend to think that writing a good sales page is easy and simple and secondary, but that's just arrogance and ignorance. Copywriting is a skill that you have to study and learn and practice. And if you think copywriting is that simple, try signing up for some affiliate programs and run some ads. You will learn where you stand pretty quickly. You will need to know copywriting whenever you launch a business, so it's definitely something you should learn earlier. Tax and business laws. Good businessmen know about the business and tax laws of the place that they're going to do business in, and they also know how to get around them. And sure, you can always hire someone to do it for you, but good lawyers and accountants are expensive, and you have to bounce decisions around multiple people, and that makes business slow and inefficient. You have to develop a decent bit of knowledge in tax laws, company laws, and contract and mercantile laws of your country. Do you know what expenses you can claim for tax purposes and which expenses you can't? Do you know that you can register your tech business as a startup and get a 3-year tax holiday? Do you know the advantages and disadvantages of using an LLP instead of using a company? Most people don't even know what an LLP is. Do you know the difference between a shareholder and a director and what their powers are? Do you know what a contract is? And do you know if it's necessary for a contract to be stamped and registered for it to be enforceable? Most people don't know any of these things. And while it's not necessary for you to know any of it, and you definitely don't need to be an expert, but having a working knowledge of the laws of the country that you're going to base your business operations in will only make it easier for you to manage and do things properly. Learning these things takes time, and it's good to know them before you start. Case in point, do you know what a vesting schedule is and why it's important? Mark Zuckerberg did not know that, and it cost him, in his own words, billions of dollars.
There's so many mistakes that just come from not. I really knew so little at the time. When Peter Thiel came in to invest, one thing that he demanded was that all of the founders be on vesting schedules. And I didn't even know what a vesting schedule was. I'd never heard of that, right? So, part of the early conflict that I had with Eduardo, who's one of our founders who then left, was he was at Harvard with us. We kind of decided, okay, if we started a company, we'd divide the equity up this way. We hadn't heard of vesting schedules, and then he just bounced. He never moved out to California with us. So Peter was like, oh, all you guys have to be on vesting schedules. And we're like, oh shit, now what do we do? Right? So, but it's fine. It's like that mistake probably cost me billions of dollars, but it's fine. You just,
Technical skills. The same rationale as above. You can always hire someone and you don't need to be an expert, but knowing the basics for yourself makes things fast and cheap, which is important, especially in the beginning. Here are some basic things that I think you should know. That is basic coding that allows you to interact with text files, manipulate data, and use web APIs. You should learn Python for this. Secondly, I think you should know how to use the VPS, schedule cron jobs, and more importantly, you should know enough to use web search effectively when you need something and things are not working well for you. For example, if your server has crashed, you should know how to check the server's error log so that you know what to put in your search bar. You should know how to create a WordPress website, install a theme. It's all very simple, but you have to have done it once. You should know how to edit photos, videos, get some basic subscriptions like Canva, and learn this for yourself. And if you're trying to build an audience, these are things you will learn in the process. So don't stress it too much. Just keep on building your audience and you will have to create content. And in the process of creating content, you will learn these things. If you don't know how to do any of this and you're trying to start a business, it's gonna be very slow for you. You will have to figure these things out. You will have to find the right people to do them for you. And anyone who's done any interviews for a position they know nothing about, it's harder than it seems. Recently, I needed to scrape some Google search results for a few keywords. I could have done them by hand, but that would have taken forever. And if I had to do it again, I would have to do it manually. So I would rather have an automated software do it for me. To write this automated software, I could have hired a guy on Fiverr, but that would take a day or two for him to deliver it. And I would have to spend time explaining what I needed and why to him. Now, because I know how to use Python, I was able to write this software quickly and efficiently. It took me 15 minutes. There were no hiccups, no delays. I did not have to find a freelancer. I did not have to spend time explaining what I wanted to him. It was simple, it was fast, and that was only because I know how to use Python. Learning Python is easier than you think. Most people just don't try. And one more thing for the people who think that these are things you can learn on the fly. You can't learn these things on the fly. For example, if you had to write some code to do something you needed today, and you don't even know the basics, you won't be able to do it even if you found a tutorial. You wouldn't even know where to start. You need to figure out how to install and use an IDE like PyCharm. It's all very overwhelming to learn in a day when you're just trying to get a particular task done. In that situation, if you don't know the basics, all you will do is just do it manually because you just have to get something done. Moreover, if you don't know the basics of a tool, the idea of using that tool wouldn't even occur to you. So in conclusion, as you can see, just because you don't have a business idea yet, you don't have to go and become a busboy. There are still plenty of things that you need to learn so that when you do start a business, your life is easier and smoother. I hope this helps. If you like this video, please click like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you think.